Alright. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wellesley College Shakespeare Society Spring 2025 production of Romeo and Juliet. My name is Zhang, and I am the director of this production. Before we get started, I'd like to direct your attention to the house's emergency exits. In case of an emergency, you may exit out those two doors on the left and right-hand sides behind you, down the stairs, and out the door you came in from. Additionally, please take a moment now to silence your cell phones, Apple Watches, and any other gadgets and gizmos that might make noise. Please be considerate to your audience members as well as our fellow actors and silence those devices. Additionally, I'm going to ask that you please keep the aisles on the left and right-hand sides clear, as well as this aisle in the front. Our actors will be using the space to walk and to fight, so please ensure that hands, feet, and bags stay behind the taped lines. Furthermore, if you have auditory issues or would like a better way to follow along with the show, there are scene summaries in the program listed on pages 6 through 10 and a QR code that links to a PDF of the script on page 19. There are also content warnings listed with those scene summaries, so please take note of those before you begin. Content warnings for the show include depictions of violence, flashing lights, blood, gore, child abuse, murder, and suicide. Lastly, the show runs at about 2.5 hours long with a 15-minute intermission in between. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. It truly means the world to me. And enjoy the show! Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where Sibyl blood makes Sibyl hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do, with their death, bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's end, naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, but here shall miss, our toil shall strive to end.
Well, thou art not fish if thou hadst been poor John. thy tool. Here comes to the house of Montagues.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run.
Fear me not.
Oh, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
I shall frown as I pass by and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare. I will back my thumb at them, which will be a disgrace to them, if they bear it.
Did you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb at you, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is it the law of our side if I say aye?
No.
No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good as a man as you do.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better, here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember my swashing blow.
Put up your swords! You know not! You do!
What? Art thou drawn amongst these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death!
I do but keep the peace. Put up your sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the words. I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have thee, coward!
What noise is this? Give me my long sword. Huh? A crutch, so I call you for a sword. A sword, I say. Old Montague has come and flourishes his blade in spite of me.
Now, Philip Copeland, help me not, let me go. I shall not serve but to see a foe.
Rebellious subjects! Enemies to peace! Neighbors against neighbors standing steel! Not here! What? Ho! You men! You beasts that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins on pain of torture. From those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave-beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans, in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives will pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Listen this ancient car and you approach. Speak, nephew, were you by when it's begone? Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more and fought on part and part. Till the prince came who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? I thought I am. He was not in this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east. A troubled mind drove me to walk abroad. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of the wood. My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
Many a morning has he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds as deep signs.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affection's counselor, could we but learn from whence his sorrow grow, we would as willingly give cue us know.
See where he comes. So please you step aside, I'll know his grievance or be much denied.
I would thou were so happy by thy stay to hear true shift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousins.
Is the day so long?
What news struck nine?
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went in so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours.
Not having that, which having makes them short.
In love?
Out
of love?
Out of her favor, where I'm in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still should lift up eyes to pathways to his will. What shall be thine? Oh. I mean, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all before. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh brawling love, oh loving hate? Anything of nothing first create. This love feel I, but feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I'd rather weep.
Good-hearted what?
That's thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Love is a smoke made with the fumes of sighs, being purged of fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with loving tears. What is it else? A madness, most discreet, a choking gall into preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some otherwhere.
Tell me, in sadness, who is that you love?
What? Shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan! Why no? But sadly, tell me who.
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will. Word ill urged to one that is so ill. And sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aim so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good markman, and she's fair, I love.
Right, fair mark, fair cause. As soon as hit.
When that hit you miss, she'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity, well armed from love's weak, childish bow, she lives unharmed.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine, or else die in debt.
But Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Honorable reckoner, both pity his lifted odds. So long, but now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying over what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her right to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed all my hopes, but she is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agree within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast whereto I have invited many a guest such as I love, and you, among the store, one more most welcome makes my number more. And my poor house look to behold this night earth-treading stars that make dark heaven light. Come, go. Go, sirrah, trudge about through fair Verona, find out those persons whose names are written here, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad? Not mad, but bound more than a madman is, shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented and... Good evening, fellow. God be good even. I pray, sir, can you read? I, mine own fortune in my misery. Perhaps you have learned it without book. But I pray, can you read anything you see? I, if I know the letters and the language. You say honestly. Rest you merry. Say, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, County Anselme and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitruvio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet and his wife and daughters, my fair niece, Rosaline, and Livia, Signor Valentio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly, whither should they come? Ah! Whither, to supper? To our house. Whose house? My master's. Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great, rich
Capulet, such the fair Rosaline whom thou so loves, with all the admired beauties of Verona, go thither, and with unattainted eye compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
One fairer than my love. The all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world's begun. I'll go long, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Now, by my maidenhead, 12-year-old, I made her come. What? Lamb! What? Ladybird! God forbid, where's this girl? What? Juliet!
How now, who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, did leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me, asked your counsel. That most my daughters of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
All they, 14 of my teeth. Yet, to my teeth be it spoken, I have but 4.
She's not 14. How long is it now to longest time?
A fortnight nowadays?
Even or odd, of all the days of the year, come Nam's Eve at night, shall she be 14. Susan and she. God rest our Christian souls. We're of an age.
Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me.
But as I said, on Nam's Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she. Mary, I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake, now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Of all the days of the year. And upon that day, and since that time, it is 11 years. For then, she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before, she broke her brow. And then, my husband, God be with his soul. I was a married man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he. Dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward. When thou hast more wind, wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holiday, the pretty wretch looked crying, and said I, to see now how it just shall come about. I warned, and I should live 1,000 years. I never shall forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel? Quoth he, and pretty fool, instincted. And said I,
Enough of this. I pray thee, hold thy peace.
yes, madam. Did I choose but laugh to think instincted, and said I.
And send thou to nurse, I pray thee. Say I.
Peace. I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest maid that ever I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary! That Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter, Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor? Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou hast sucked wisdom from thy teat.
Think of marriage now. Younger than you, ladies in esteem here in Verona are made already lovers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, man! Hey, such a man is all the world! He's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read over the volume of young Paris's face and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. So shall you share all that he doth possess by having him, making yourself no less.
No less? Nay, bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like the Paris's love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move, but no more deep line dart mine eye than your consent to give strength to reply.
Madam, the guests are come. Supper served up. You called. My young lady asked for the nurse, cursed in the pantry. It's Germany. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet. The county stays.
Go, girl. Seek happy nights.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling being but heavy. I will bear the light.
Hey, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I. Believe me, you have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead so stakes me to the ground. I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft.
To soar his light feathers.
Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. To rid oppression for a tender pang.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous,
And it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking and beat love down.
Give me a case to put my visit in.
A visor for a visor. What care I, what curious eye doth quote deformities? Here are the beetle browns shall blush for me.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in but every man would take him to his lights.
A torch for me. Let wantons light apart tickle the senseless brushes of their heels, all be a candle holder, and look on, the game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
That duns the mouse, the constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire of this Sir Reverend's love in which thou stinkest up to thine ears. we burn daylight. Oh.
Nay, it's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay we waste our lights in vain, like lamps by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times in this, ere once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies of workmen's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spinners' legs, the covers of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's webs, the collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip a cricket's tone, the lash of film, her wagoner a small grey-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the charmer squirrel or old grub. Time and mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Or courtiers' knees who dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on beads, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry man with blisters plagues. Sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of hells 5 fathom deep. And then anon, drums at his ear, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frightened, swears a prayer or 2, and sleeps again. This is that very Mab, when plats the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf-locks in foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is that hand when maids lie on their backs, who presses them and learns the first to bear, making the women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace! Mercutio, peace! Thou talkst of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy. They are as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind who woos.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done and we shall come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and shall expire the term of despised life, closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail on, lusty gentlemen. Strike, drum!
Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unflaked with horns will have a bout with you. Ah, my mistresses, which of you all have? She that makes dainty, she elsewhere hath horns. Ah, I come near you now. Welcome, gentlemen. Ah, I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. Ah, 'tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. A give room and footed girls. Yeah!
Please don't stop the music.
doth enrich the hand of yonder knight. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in a princess's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. Did my heart love till now, I swear at sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a model. Fetch my rapier, boy! What, dare the worm come hither covered in an antic face to fleer and scorn our solemnity? Now by the stock and honor of my kin to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin!
How now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe. A villain that is hither come in spite to scorn our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle coz. Let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. It is my will, the which if thou respect, put off these frowns and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
Fits when such a villain is aghast. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. Am I the master here, or you? Go to, you'll not endure him. Thou shalt mend my soul, you'll make a mutiny among my guests.
Why, uncle, 'tis a shame!
Go to, you are a saucy boy. Is it so? This trick may chance to save you, I know what. Be quiet, or light. For shame, I'll make you quiet.
Patience perforce with willful collar meeting makes my flesh tremble in no different degree. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much. Which mannerly devotion shows in this? For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
But not saints' lips, and holy palmers too.
Aye, pilgrim lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayers affect all you. Thus from my lips, by yours, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam! Your mother craves a word with you.
Who is her mother?
Mary, bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talk withal. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the coins.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear, count my life as my boast.
The sport is at the best.
I so I fear the war is my unrest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman?
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown and known too late. How much worth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
Anon, come, let's away. The strangers are all gone.
My cousin Romeo!
He is wise, and on my life have stolen little hope.
Come, he ran this way, call! Good Mercutio!
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Humors! Madman! Passion! Lover! Appear now in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme and I am satisfied. Cry but I, me, pronounce but love and dove. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eye, by her high forehead and scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and those domains that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. My invocation is fair and honest, and in his mistress' name I conjure only but to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees, to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open arse, and thou a popperin pear. Good night, Romeo. Out to my truckle bed now. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she.
I me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It's nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part. That's your man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me baptized henceforth, I never will.
What man art thou thus screened at night so stumblest on my counsel? My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo? And a Montague?
Neither, fair saint. If either thee dislike,
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The place is death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
with love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do that dares love attempt, therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight. And but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death were robed wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love. Who first did prompt me to inquire, he lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou knowst the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush but paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thee at thy word, yet if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. At lovers' perjuries, they say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo. Or else, not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that tips with silver all these fruit tree
I'll
tops.
swear not by the moon, the constant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love.
Well, do not swear. Although I join thee, I have no time. It's too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning, which does cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet, I would it were to give again. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. I hear some noise within, dear love, adieu. Anon, new nurse! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night! I am afeared. Being a knight, all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
Three words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purposed marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, of where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy feet I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon, but if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by I come, to cease thy suit, and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send, 1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light.
Hist, Romeo, hist! Over a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentleman back again, Romeo!
My love!
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
By the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I will forget to have thee stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird who lets it hop a little from her hand, so loving jealous of his liberty.
And would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eye, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace, so sweet to rest.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones in their true qualities. For not so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Virtue itself turns vice,
being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite! What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Was thou with Rosaline? With Rosaline?
My ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name. Oh.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou asketh me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession often finds but riddling
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy St. Francis. What a change is here. Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Oh, it seems that young men's love does not lie in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline! How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love that of it doth not taste?
Thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, people mine.
I pray thee, chide me not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allowed. The other did not so.
No, she knew well. Thy love did breed by rote and could not spell. But come, young laborer, come, go with me. In some respects, I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor into pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Ah, that same pale, hard-hearted wench that Rosaline torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, has sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master how he dares, being dared.
Alas! Poor Romeo, he is already dead. Stabbed by the white wench's black eye. Shot through the ear with a love song. Nay, the very pin of his heart cleft by the blind bow-boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, proportion, rests me his men on rest, 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button, a duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. Oh, the immortal passado, the brutal reverso,
The what?
talks of such antic, lisping, affecting phantasms, these new tuners of accent.
Here comes Romeo! Here comes Romeo!
Without his roe, like a dried herring.
Oh, flesh, how art thou fishified? Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation for your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much to say such a case as yours constrains a man to bow at the hands.
Meaning to courtesy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Sure wit. Follow me this jest now until thou hast worn out thy pump, that when the single soul that is born, the jest may remain, even after the wearing soul singular.
Oh, single soul jest only singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Holly, about his face.
Switch and spurs, you're all crying now.
I'll bite you an ear for that jest.
Hey, good goose bite not.
Stop there. Stop there.
Thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair?
That was Elsa made thy tail large.
Thou art deceived. I would have made it short. For you see, I have come to the whole depth of my tale and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer. A sail, two, a shirt and a smock.
My fan, Peter.
Good Peter, to hide her face, for her fan's the fairer face.
Righty. Good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good even, fair gentlewoman.
You said good even.
'Tis no less, for the body hand of the dial rests now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! What a man are you!
One gentlewoman that God hath made for himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said, for himself to mar, quoth he. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you. But young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name for fault of a worse.
You say well. If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you. She will invite him to some supper.
A god, so ho.
What hast thou found?
No hair, sir. Unless a hair, sir, in a Lenten pie, that is something stale and hoar, ere it be spent. Will you come to your father's, Romeo, let him thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell. Ancient lady, farewell. Lady, oh.
Mary, farewell. Pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this? That was so full of his roguery.
A gentleman, nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
Any speak anything against me, I'll take him down. Any word lustier than he is in 20 such jacks. If I cannot, I'll find those that shall. And thou must stand by too, and suffer every day to use me at his pleasure. I saw no man use you at his pleasure. If I had, my weapon should quickly have been out. I warrant you, I dare draw as soon as another man. If I see occasion in a good quarrel, and the law on my side. Now, for God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave. Pray, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell you, if you should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore if you should deal double her, it truly were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Pray you, nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress, I protest unto thee.
Good heart, and in faith, I will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will
don't tell her, sir, that you do propose, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Firelorn's cell be shrived and married.
This afternoon, sir. Well, she shall be there. Now God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir.
What sayest thou, my dear nurse?
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady, though adored, when 'twas a little prating thing. Oh, there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, has lief see a toad, a very toad. I see him. I anger her sometimes, and say to her, Paris is the proper man. But I warrant you, when I say so, she looks as pale as any clout in the versal world.
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter, anon. Peter, take my fan and go before and apace.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Now is the sun upon the hindmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 to 12 is 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she'd be as swift in motion as a ball. But old folks, many fame as dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. Now good, sweet nurse, oh Lord. Why lookst thou sad?
I am weary. Give me leave a while. Fie. How my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had.
I would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Just soon. What haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Answer that. Say either, and I'll say the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. No, his face be better than any man's. His leg excels all men's. And for a hand, and a foot, and a body, though they not to be talked on, if they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I warned him, as gentle as a lamb.
But all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches! Oh, what a head have I! It beats and fallen 20 pieces. My back at the other side. Oh, my back!
In faith, I'm sorry that thou art not well. I beseech thee, sweet nurse, tell me, what says Romeo?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest.
to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be scarlet straight at any news. Go, out to dinner, hie you to the cell.
High fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
The heavens smile upon this holy act that after hours with sorrow chides us not.
Amen. Amen. But come what sorrow can. It cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me her sight. Do thou close our hands with holy words. Then love devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die, like fire and powder which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in its taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love is grown to such excess I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come, go with me, and we shall make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two into one.
Thou wilt quarrel with a man who hath a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for crack
By my head, here come the Capulets!
I feel I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good evening. A word with one of you.
But one word with one of us. Couple of us something, make it a word of the blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest!
Consort? What dost thou make us musicians? And not make buskers of us, look, you're nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick, here's the shall make me dance.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place and reason coldly of your differences, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man. Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain!
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee, have much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain, am I none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this will not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but loved thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so good, Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, vile, dishonorable submission. Alistair Cassidy carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Nothing, good king of cats, but one of your 9 lives, which I mean to make bold withal. And as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of the 8. Will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Never kick us on that right. Oh, sir, your passado.
Draw and folio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince hath expressly forbidden bandying in Verona streets. Hold, Tybalt!
Away! Tybalt!
Plague on both your houses, I am sped. Is he gone and have nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
Aye, a scratch. Oh, a scratch. Marriage is enough.
Courage. Man, the hurt cannot be much.
No. No. He's not so deep as a well, nor as wide as a church door. 'Tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am backward, I warrant, for this world. A plague on both your houses. Zoons, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Then boy, help me into some house, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses!
This gentleman, the prince's dear ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hat hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander, Tybalt that an hour hath been my kinsman. Sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Romeo! Romeo! Brave Mercutio's dead!
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive, in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven, respective lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gave me, for Mercutio's soul, which is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
Thou, wretched boy, that didst consort him here, shall wait him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, he cries aloud, "Hold, friends! Friends, part!" And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth. Let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe.
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. He's
proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding, but I will mercy you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses, therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else if he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Such a wagoner as Phaethon would whip you to the west and bring cloudy night immediately. Come night, come Romeo, come thou day and night. For thou wilt lie upon the wings of night whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Now, nurse, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
We are undone. We are undone. Alack the day. He's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can. Heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo. Romeo. Whoever would have thought it?
Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou that I in that bare foul eye shall poison more than death the darting eye of cockatrice. I am not I, if there be such an eye, or those eyes shut that makes the answer I. What devil art thou that dost torment me thus, this torture be roared in dismal hell? If he be slain, say I, or if not, no, brief sounds determine my weal or woe.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eye. God save the mark. Here, on his manly breast. Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, modest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin and my dear lord, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh God! Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. It did. Alas, the day. It did.
O serpent heart hid with a flowering face! Did ever dragon keep so fair a king? A damned saint, an honorable villain. O nature, what hast thou to roar in hell, when thou didst bower the spirit of a fiend in mortal paradise of such sweet flesh? Was ever a book containing such vile matter so fairly bounded? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace!
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Ah, where's my man? Give me some aquavitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame! Come to Romeo.
Listen be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you mistaking offer up to joy. My husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain. And Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore I weep then? So word there was Percer, the Tybalt's death that murdered me, I would forget it, fame, but oh, how it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished, that one, or banished has slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death were woe enough had it ended there.
Where is my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse.
Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine will be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment.
How's your chamber? I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I watch, well, where he is. Harkye, your Romeo will be here at night. All to him. He's hid in Lord's cell.
Find him. Give this ring to my true knight and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man, I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
Father, what news? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment. Hence from Verona art thou banished, but be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
Banishment.
Be merciful, say death. There is no world without Verona walls, and world's exile is death. Then banishment is death mistermed, calling death banishment. Thou cuts my head off with a golden axe and smiles upon the stroke that murders
Oh,
me.
deadly sin! Oh, rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, has death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture, and not mercy.
Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. He is banished. And sayst thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden means of death, though never so mean, but banished to kill me? Banished, oh friar, the damned is that word in hell.
Thou fond madman, hear me a little speak. Thou wilt talk again of banishment. I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity, sweet milk. Philosophy, to comfort thee though thou art banished.
Banished. Hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet displant, a town reversed, the prince's doom, it helps not, it prevails not. Talk no more.
Then I see madmen have no ears.
How should they, that wise men have no eyes? Thou canst not speak, but that thou dost not feel.
Wert thou as young as I, Juliet, thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me and like me banished, then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground, taking the measure of an unmade grave as I do now.
One knocks. Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I.
Hark, how they knock! Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while. Stand up. God's will, what simpleness is this? Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will?
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Oh, holy friar! Oh, tell me, holy friar, where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground with his own tears made drunk.
Spakest thou, Juliet? How's it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer now, and have stained the childhood of her joy, and with blood removed little from her own?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps. Now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then Romeo cries, and then down falls again. As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. As that name's cursed hand did murder her kinsman.
Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy that mine being lodged, tell me, that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou not slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself, or slay thy lady that in thy long life lives by doing damned hate upon thyself? What? Rouse thee, man. Thy Juliet is alive. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slowest Tybalt. There art thou happy too. The law that threatens death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. Go. Get thee to thy love. Ascend her chamber as was decreed. Hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for thou then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt stay till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and bring thou back in 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Commend me to thy nurse. Nurse, commend me to thy lady. Bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I will tell my lady to come. Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide. Here, sir, a ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie ye, make haste, for it grows very late.
Farewell. Good night, and here stands all your state. Either either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disguised from hence. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Good night and farewell.
But that joy, past joy calls out to me. It were grief, so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our docket. Look you, she loved her cousin Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late, she'll not come down tonight.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will. And know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord?
Monday, haha. Well, Wednesday is too soon. On Thursday, let it be. On Thursday, tell her she shall be married to this noble earl, for hark you, Tybalt being slain so early. It may be thought we held him carelessly, if we revel much. Therefore, we'll have some half a dozen friends and their net. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. On Thursday, be it then. Prepare her wife against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber. Up.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the more known nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out in jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it, It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee on this night a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet. Thou needst not be gone.
Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul its talk? It is not day.
It is It is. I hence be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Oh, now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam! Nurse? Your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about.
And window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend. Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkst thou we will ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art below as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails or thou lookst pale.
Trust me, love. In my eyes, so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Daughter, are you up?
Who is it that calls? Is it my lady mother? She not down so early or up so late? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death as that the villain lives, who slaughtered him.
What villain is that, madam?
That same villain, Romeo. We will have vengeance for it. Fear thou not. Then weep no more. I'll send one in Mantua, where that same vanishing Romeo doth live. Shall give him such an unaccustomed dread that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then, I hope, thou wilt be satisfied.
Madam, if you could find out what a man to bear poison, I would temper it, so that Romeo, upon receipt, should soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named and cannot come to him. Grieve the love I bore my cousin upon his body that slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such needy times. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who to put thee from thy heaviness hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectest not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Mary, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman to County Paris at St. Peter's Church shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now, by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he will not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I should wed ere he that should be husband come to woo. I pray thee, madam, tell my lord and father I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, who you know I hate rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself and see how he will take it at your hands.
How now, conduit girl? What, still in tears, evermore showering? How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir. But she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
How will she none? Doth she not give thanks? Is she not Proud? Does she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud that you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now, chalk logic. What is this? Proud, and I thank you, and I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress Minion, you thank me no thankings, nor proud me nor proud, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next, to go with Sir Percer to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carried out, you baggage, you tallow face!
Fie, what are you, mad?
Father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch! I'll tell thee what, get to church on Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we had scarce thought us blessed when God had lent us with this only child. But now I see this one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hilton!
God in heaven bless her! You are to blame, my lord, to rape her so.
And why, my lady wisdom? Hold your tongue. Good prudence, smatter with your gossips. Go.
I speak no treason.
Oh, God be good even.
May not one speak.
Peace, you mumbling fool. Utter your gravity over a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, time, work, play, alone, in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammoth in her fortune's tender to answer, I'm not wed, I cannot love. Pardon me, but as you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it. Think on it. I do not use to jest. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advise. And you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul I will never acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, but think you, I will not be forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not, build the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth.
My faith in heaven, how shall that faith return again to earth unless my husband send it me from heaven? By leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me, what sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy?
Faith. Here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing. He dares never come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it must needs be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as it now doth, I think it best you marry with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish cutter to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so clean, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Be true my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead. Which were as good he were, as living here, you no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, else be shrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to Lawrence's cell to make confession and to be absolved.
Mary, I will. This is wisely done.
Ancient damnation, almost wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor. Thou in my bosom shall henceforth be twain. All to the friar to know his remedy. All else fail, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir? The time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing so to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
Immoderately, she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talk of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears.
Here comes the lady now towards myself.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, but I may be a wife.
That maybe must be love. On Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will you. I am sure that you love me.
If I do so, it will be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul. Thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory with that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrongest it, more than tears, with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is the truth, and what I spake it to my face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, for it is not my own. Are you at leisure, holy friar now, or shall I come to the evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early, will I rouse thee. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come weep with me, past hope, past cure, past help!
Juliet, I already know thy grief, and it strains me past the compass of my wits. I fear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, Father, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. Be not so long to speak, I long to die, if what thou speakest speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope. If, rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away the shame? That hopest with death himself to escape from it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris, from off the battlements in yon tower, or walk in thievish ways, Or bid me lurk where serpents are, chain me with roaring bears, or bid me go with it into a new-made grave and hide me with a dead man's shroud. Things not to hear them told have made me tremble, and I would do it without fear or doubt to live an unstained wife to my sweet lover.
Hold. Go on. Be married. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. And take thou this phial. Being then in bed, and this distilling liquor drink thou off. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor. And no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. No breath shall testify thou livest, thy lips and cheeks shall fade to paly ash, thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shuts up the day of life. Thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou, dead. And as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. And in the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that night shall he bear thee hence to Mantua.
Give me, tell not me of fear.
Hold. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
As here are writ, shall be much unfurnished for this time. What, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, you may chance to do some good on her peevish self-willed harlotry is.
See where she comes from shrift with very low.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned these were composite of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am joined by holy lords to fall prostrate here to beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward, I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go, tell them of this. I'll have this knot made up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell, and gave him what becometh love I might, not stepping o'er the bounds of modesty.
Why, I'm glad on it. This is well. Stand up. This is as it should be. Let me see the county. I may go, I say, and fetch him hither. Now, before God, this reverend holy friar, all our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort out such needful ornaments as you see fit to furnish me tomorrow?
Not till Thursday. There is time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
I will stir about, and all things shall be well. I warn thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet. Help to deck up her. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play the housewife for this once. What ho! They're all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris to prepare up him against tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light, since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
need my help.
No, madam. We have called such necessaries as are being looking for our sleep tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone and let the nurse tonight sit up with you. For I'm sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me, nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene and I needs must act alone. Come, Lyle. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. This shall forbid it. Lie down there. What if it be a poison which the friar subtly hath concocted to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is, and yet methinks it should not, for he has still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake ere the time my Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Will I not then be stifled in the vault and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Oh, when I wake, will I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this way rage for some great kinsman's bone, as with a club dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look. Methinks I see my cousin's ghost, seeking out Romeo that did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt. Stay. Romeo. 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 Here is drink. I drink to thee.
Mistress! What? Mistress! Juliet! Fast I warn her she. Why, lamb? Why, lady? Fie, you slug of bed. Why, love I say. Madam, sweetheart. Why, bride?
penny's worth now. Sleep for a week. For the next night I warrant. The county Paris hath set up his rest that you shall rest but little. God forgive me. Mary, amen! How sound does she sleep? I must needs wake her. Madam! 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 What? Dressed? In your clothes? And down again. I must needs wake you. Lady! 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 Alas. Alas! Help! Help! My lady's dead!
If I may trust the flattering truths of sleep, my dreams precisely joyful news at hand. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think. And breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona, how now, Benvolio? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady, is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That, I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
And she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal heart with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you.
Is it even so?
Then I deny you, stars!
Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses I will hence tonight.
I beseech you, cousin, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and you import some misadventure.
Thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, cuss.
No matter, get thee gone, and hire those horses, I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts he dwells. What ho! Apothecary! Who calls so loud? Come hither, man, I see that thou art poor. Hold! There's 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison. Such soon speeding gears will disperse itself through all the veins that the life-weary taker may fall dead.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I'll pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial, and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar, brother. Oh,
This same must be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be right, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out. One of our order to associate me here in the city, visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again, nor get a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful were they of infection.
This letter was not nice, but full of charge, of dear import, and the neglecting of it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence, get me an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh woe, thy canopy is dust and stone. Sweet water, nightly I will do, or wanting that, with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep, nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What, with a torch? Muffle me night a while.
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning see thou deliver to my lord and father. Whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof and do not interrupt me in my course. By heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs.
I will be gone, cuz, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous. And farewell, good cousin.
Montague that murdered my love's cousin, and here is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop thy toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good, gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone, let them affright thee. I beseech you, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. God! By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come armed hither against myself.
I do defy thy conjurations and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy!
I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Leave me with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Where you choose kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man when my betrothed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad hearing him talk of Juliet to think it was so? Give me thy hand. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, that hath sucked the honey of thy breath, hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what more favor can I do to thee than with the hand that cut thy youth in twain to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is avarice, and that the lean, horrid monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Oh, here will I stay with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh you, the doors of breath, sealed with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, I drove so quick. Best with a kiss, I die. St. Francis
there? Romeo! Oh, pale. And Paris too, and steeped in blood. What an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Welcome to a friar. Where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear some noise. Come, go with me. Come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. I fear a greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come, good Juliet. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, Juliet, I dare no longer stay.
Go get thee hence, for I will not away.
It's here. A cup closed in my true love's hand.
Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end.
Oh, churl, drunk all and left no drop to help after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison may delight on them to make dye with them restored. Thy lips are warm.
Lead, boy, which way?
Hear noise. Then I'll be brave. Oh, happy tiger, this is thy sheep. There rest, and let me die. Romeo!
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest?
Oh, heavens. Oh, wife, look how our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath mistaken for low. His house is empty on the back of Montague, and his sheaths in my daughter's bosom.
Oh, me! This sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile has stopped her press. What further woe conspires against my age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
Oh, thou untaught, what manners is it thus to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while till we can clear these ambiguities and know their spring, their head, their true descent. Then will I be general to your woes and lead you even to death. Meantime, forbear and let mischance be thrall to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest. Able to do the least, yet most suspected as time and place. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say at once what thou dost know in this.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she there dead was faithful wife to that Romeo. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, for whose untimely death the newly made bridegroom was banished from this city, and for whom not Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege of grief from her betrothed and would have her married perforce to county Paris? Then comes she to me with wild look in her eyes, bid me devise some way to rid her from the second marriage, or there in my cell would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which took effect as I intended, for it brought on her the form of death. In the meantime, I writ to Romeo and bid him come this dire night, but when I came, some minutes ere her awakening, there untimely lay the noble Paris and the true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I bid her come with me, but she would not go, and as it seems, did some harm upon herself. All this I know, and to the marriage the nurse is privy. But if aught in this miscarried by my fault, then let my old life be sacrificed before his hour unto the rigor of the severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, and while I rid her statue in pure gold. And while Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure such rates be set, as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this, of Juliet and her Romeo.